Hey guys, welcome to the Nick Bahe YouTube page. You know what you need to do. You need to subscribe, you need to ring the bell, you need to like the page, you need to leave a comment. I appreciate you. All right, here we go. Bye week. Listen, Nebraska may be on a bye week. We're not on a bye week.
No, we would never be on a bye week, and we would never record this immediately after the pod that we did on Saturday. Post Illinois. We would never do that.
It's not like we just happened to, we caught our outfits in rotation. We're in the same. No. Yes. In my defense, I'm opening up a business this week and it's going to be all hands on deck, but we got some things we're going to dive into.
How do you feel about being a businessman?
I'm a business owner. That's my new line to my wife. I'm like, hey, that's no way to talk to a business owner. That's my line to her.
Folks, as a small business owner in my local community, I just want to say a few things about this.
Right now, I want to show up at where business owners hang out, and I'm going to act like I understand their struggles. I'm like, am I right? Payroll.
So this is the business club, huh?
They're like, get him out of here.
Well,
been open for a day.
What do you think about all this inflation?
How about sales tax? I mean, right? Good Lord.
So I got this employee. He's giving me a hard time about his pay. So I told him,
I go, look here, buddy. I got to keep the lights on. Am I right?
I say, take a look at the one ads. You don't like it?
Get a new job. That's pretty much what it is. No, so it's no bye week for us. But speaking of that business, Shoot 360. It's on and popping, baby. We are opening this week, October 14th. World's most advanced basketball training facility, baby. In order to become a member, you have to go through an official recruiting visit. And in order to do that, you got to fill out that official recruiting visit form. And in order to find that, you got to go to shoot360.com/link and fill out the form. Our general manager will reach out to you, schedule you on a workout. It's free, and you are going to be blown away when you check out the shooting bays, the technology, and then you check out the ball handling and skills courts. It's just fantastic. Go to shoot360.com/Lincoln. Fill out that official recruiting visit form. And shouts out to Pella Windows and Doors. We got the Yetis rolling right here. If you need some new windows or some new doors, great options for you to start. You go to the showrooms, Omaha or Lincoln. Great resource right there. And you can schedule a free in-home consultation. Get an expert out to your crib. See what's going on there. Go to PellaOmaha.com. That's PellaOmaha.com. Okay, bye week. We're at the midway point of the year. Nebraska's 3-3. Mm-hmm. They're 1-2 in the Big Ten. It is that time of the year. I am going to go to my daughter's got a mid-semester parent-teacher conference. I'm going to show up at Mave's second grade class. And I want to hear what's been going on with Mava. Okay, that's what this is for us with Nebraska football. Mid-season kind of parent-teacher conference report card, okay? So we're going to go position by position. We'll talk about it. We're going to hand out a grade.
So Matt Rule's coming into our classroom, and we're going to tell him how his students have been doing.
Yes. He had to schedule it with us, and he's going to come into our world, and he's going to sit down, and he's going to talk to us about what we're doing.
Jeff is just, I don't know how to say this.
He's not understanding.
He's been dropping the ball.
He's dropping.
He's a great kid, but we think that he could really focus more.
He needs to focus. Your O-line, good when they're focused. There's just not enough focus at times.
They're silly billies. They
distracted. I think I'm going to spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, they get really nervous when it's test time.
That was me and you were bad at that when we would have classes together. It was always important early on. If we showed that me and you would get our giggles on, we'd get separated real quick.
We should have known better because it was always the first day. We were so excited to be sitting next to each other. We'd laugh hysterically all class. Then we'd be separated for the whole semester. We should have played it cool for like a week.
All it would have taken was a week of
we
just
didn't know each other.
Suppress. Yeah, like I don't know this guy. Suppress it.
I remember.
And then we could have.
The first class we ever had together, we were so jacked up. For years, we went to different schools.
Yes.
For the first time, we were so jacked up that it was like mayhem at our table. We were separated by the end of the classroom. Dang it.
It was some classes have your individual desks. Some have like two at a desk.
We had two.
We had a two at a desk, and we were like,
this is unbelievable.
This is the most amazing moment of my life. And yeah, we got separated right away. But we should have. Like, I could go back. Like, you could go back and tell yourself one thing. I'd go back and tell
Play it cool for the first week.
Nick and Bo at age 12. Play it cool when you first sit next to each other in math in 7th grade.
I know. I came back in time for one. Yeah,
I got one thing to tell you. Don't laugh in your first day of class in math.
And here's Biff Tannen's book on sports betting.
Oh, yeah. And bet on all these sports and you'll be a billionaire.
Bet on the Huskers losing by less than 7 on every game in 2021.
It's going to be crazy.
You won't believe it, but the odds will be out of this world.
Betting.
Keep
betting.
making that bet, and I promise you, you'll be a very rich man.
That's what we would have done. Those 2 things and those 2 things only. Okay. Can we start with the big, quarterback?
Yes.
Let's call in Heinrich and Jeff and Chubba. Come on in, guys. Good to see you. Take a seat. So Heine, hey,
get your hands off my Heine.
52% completion percentage, 631 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. He leads the team in rushing, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's had a couple of he's had some good moments. I really like your Sims, 58% completion percentage, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. I ask you, grade. You want me to go first?
You go first. Start with Heine. We're going to start with Heine.
Oh, you want to go with Heine? I was going to go over.
Go
so I went overall. Overall, I give the position a C-.
I would say a C-. I think if we're grading them individually, I'm probably giving Heine a C.
And Jeff a D.
A D. An F is harsh.
Well, honestly, in some ways, sorry, Jeff, you need to, like,
is he flunking me? We grade it, we don't like to give F's here at Nebraska High. Jeff has a D-. And
I would give Jeff, like, he's got a D, but it's like, so let's say a D is what, 60%?
Yeah.
Like he's at 59.5 and we're rounding up for a D.
Yeah. We're it was a rough go for him. He did run the ball well against Minnesota. He did run the ball
decent
against Colorado.
Yeah.
So like he ran it well. He was just so bad with his ball handling and decision making at other times that like you can't give him better than a D.
No.
Because Heine's only getting like roughly a C.
Yeah, like you can't give, like, say it out loud. You feel comfortable giving Heine a B? Now he is 3-1 as a starter, but
so
it's
maybe a B- under the circumstances.
Yeah,
but not a B plus. It's not B. It's not B plus.
I'm going to give him a C. I'm going to give Sims a D-, and so I'm going to combine those two, a C-. Is that fair?
I think as from Nebraska High, we feel good about
Nebraska
that.
High. We're going to give you a C-. You got a lot to work on, both of you. Okay?
We're really happy with the way Heine's like won games. Sims seems to be like doing a good job of being supportive and
he's not pouting over there. He seems locked in and engaged.
Probably getting ready. And this will not be the last Jeff Sims. He will play this year, in my opinion.
I agree. I think the biggest thing with them in terms of like, if they were here, be like, what do I need to work on? I would say you guys just got to clean it up.
Just be clean.
Your desk is a mess.
Yeah.
Your desk is a complete mess. Papers are flying out everywhere.
Your handwriting, it's just sloppy. Guys, I can't read it. I can't read your handwriting.
They have sloppy handwriting. Their desk is a mess. It's just when they hand in their sheets, they're all like crumpled up. And you're like, I mean, I don't want to have to iron your homework just to be able to read it. Okay. Yeah. So just clean it up.
Clean it up, guys.
Okay. All right. Grab the door as you gonna get out. Let's bring in the running backs. Come on in. Yay.
2 of them coming on like
2
crutches.
in like crutches. You're like, oh man. Whew.
Well, this is actually a little bit tougher, I think, because we got hurt guys.
Yeah. Well, you gotta take it all.
What do we give?
Okay, so
are we doing individual or are we going by the unit? Should we just do by the unit at this point?
I wanted to do by the unit.
Okay.
Because that's all that we can. I mean,
we don't got time for individual. Let's do unit.
As a unit, I wrote down D+, C-. Is that a little firm?
I would say that's
a little mean. You want to go C-?
C- because of the fumbles. I actually don't think there's been a lot of room. Like
as weird as it sounds,
there hasn't been a lot of room. Like the quarterback has had the room to run, and there's been success there. These guys have had no room. But the fumbling, Anthony Grant put it in the ground.
We talked about this
when Gabe was in there. He put it in the ground. Emmett Johnson, AKA, as we know,
but Benjamin Buford.
Benjamin
Blue.
Buford.
Was his last name Blue?
Yeah, Benjamin Buford Blue. They call him Bubba, but he
yes. But like he coughed it up.
Yeah, Heine had to talk to him.
I think first and foremost, we're going to hand him all 3 cough drops. And they're going to be like, what's this? We're like, quit coughing it up. Apparently we're assholes.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, this has turned into something I wasn't expecting.
I didn't mean this.
Yeah, what is that?
First things first.
We're just ripping on the guys. What about saying
we're terrible teachers. We're calling him in. We're just ripping him to shreds.
We have some prop and we just rip them. Oh, okay.
By the way, if someone didn't listen to the recap pod, they're so confused as to why Emmett Johnson is Bubba for first.
We forgot that this pod was taped 10 minutes after
So all the jokes are fresh in our head and they're not. Okay.
Geez.
All right, I'm gonna take my cough drops back. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to be so jerky to you. So I mean, Grant's got 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. Irvin has 196 yards and a touchdown. The next highest is Fleeks with 75 because of the one run. I mean, I just don't think the position's been that great. I'm with you in that
minus. It's a C minus.
Let's go C minus. A D plus feels like G's. That's a little mean.
C minus because they fumbled, but also not a D because I just don't think there's been any room to run.
You're right. There's not been any opportunity for them to really cut it loose, which is weird. C minus.
Yeah.
Guys, step on out. All right. Offensive line, Ben Scott, Noelle, Ethan Piper. Turn your coke around. Teddy pen your ass down. Take your headphones off, Teddy pen your ass down. You listen to some Barry White or something like that. Okay. Guys, there's some cough drops.
There's some cough drops because here's some depends because you've been pissing your pants. Oh my God.
We started every conference with the biggest asshole gift.
Oh, it's so mean, man.
First of all, guys, here's some depends. Okay.
No, we gotta be real. This is real. We might have to cut some of this stuff out.
This is great. Okay. I wrote down C minus because the rushing offense, they have ran the ball you got to move some people to run the ball.
Yeah, I think
it's just the penalties, the sloppiness.
Penalties. I think it's the penalties on them that's been frustrating. The timing of their penalties is very fresh in our head, as we talked about. The last pod, which was 5 minutes ago, we talked about it at length. So these are things fresh in our head.
Oh my God!
But really, they do in some ways they've looked physical, a little bit more physical with their blocking, but they've just been, the timing of their penalties have been so bad that they same way I think you lump them in the C range. And
do you want to go a D plus? You could make a case for a D plus. I'm gonna go C minus just because
I've seen worse out of our offensive
I have
line
too. So it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's certainly not the best thing I've ever seen in my life. They have ran the ball decently well at times. They ran for 300 against Louisiana Tech, I think it was. I think C minus is more than fair.
More than the D's.
All right. They've all asked us what do we need to work on?
Composure.
That's a good one. Composure. Stop. No penalties. Stop false starting and no penalties when you get into the red zone. Dude.
Yeah, when you're on the 1 inch yard line and all you got to do is just not fall over.
Yeah,
you're going to score. That's what we need. That's what we mean by composure.
Yes. So just composure, tighten up the penalties. Sure, block better, blah, blah, blah. But pass pro.
Their pass pro hasn't been terrible.
Hasn't been awful. So yeah, I think C minus is fair.
Yeah.
All right, tight ends. I gave I wanted to a guy went to Canton.
Is this have a plus and have an A in this one?
I kind of wanted to give Fedoni an A.
Now, Nick Borkacher has to be in the room too. Okay, so
yes,
let
Boa
him come
Constrictor.
in.
Boa Constrictor.
You can't only talk to Thomas.
Okay, bring in Boa Constrictor along with Fedoni. We have a nice, big, comfy chair for Fedoni, and then we have one of those tiny little chairs for Boa Constrictor. But Fedoni's got 20 catches, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns. Boa Constrictor has...
He got 20 catches?
20 catches. Let me double check that. Yeah. Let me double check.
He's got 20 catches already?
12 catches. Billy Kemp has 12. Sorry, I wrote down the right. Fedoni has 12.
I was about
12 for 157 and
Nick,
3 touchdowns.
I almost said...
You sniffed that out, dog.
I almost called Kent and said, I take it all back. He is coming.
So, but 12 catches, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns. I feel good about, I feel really good about him. I'm happy for him. We've been Fedoni fans from the jump. I mean, hell, we send him to Canton on this pod. It's cool to see him have he's got to feel, not saying he's happy about being 3-3, but like Fedoni should be walking around campus feeling good about himself, in my opinion.
Well,
like,
he's
on the field.
He had a couple of years where it's like the jinx was out on him, and he's overcoming the jinx, which is like he's played the games, he's caught the balls, he's kind of gotten over. To me, like the jinx is over. Like if you can play a part of a season and like you actually are making catches and scoring touchdowns, like he doesn't have to press anymore. He can go play.
Yes.
So that's why I think he should feel very good about where he's at right now.
I wrote down B. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's been good. It has not been great.
Yes.
Though. It's been good.
It's been, I think B is more than fair. All right, guys. Thomas, great start. Boa Constrictor. See you later, pal. All right,
about that, Nate.
Let's bring in
that's how he gets around Thomas. Sorry.
let's bring in the wide receivers. Let's bring them in. All of you, come on in. Oh boy. Billy Kemp has 20 catches, 219 yards, 1 touchdown. Mr. First Down himself has 8 catches for 176 yards. Bullock has 7 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. And that's kind of, you got Ty Hahn had a catch in that last game. I mean, in terms of Jalen Lloyd has got a catch, just going to Garcia Castaneda had 1 early. Fleeks has got 2 catches. Bonner, the fullback. You like that little play action of the fullback? I like that. I'm a big fan.
Good play.
Coleman had 1 catch for 5 yards as well. So like, I mean, this obviously position group has gotten crushed with injuries. It was already not very star-studded to begin with, but Betts leaves the team in the middle of camp. Garcia Castaneda hurts himself in the first game. Mr. First Down himself is asking the doctors can I ever give another first down at this point? Will I ever? Down? So I wrote down a D.
I would say like if you just look at like performance without any sort of context, I would get it. But I also don't think like I'm looking at maybe like what we're working with.
Yeah. Is there a sliding scale of like what that group is capable of?
I think a little bit with them is like, they're like for the talent that they have, they're not like dropping balls necessarily. No. And they're not doing the egregious bad things. Like even the running backs are fumbling. Like they're not fumbling.
Okay.
Like they're catching the ball when it's thrown to them. Maybe they're not getting open as much, and they're not posing the deep threat, but they're also not like losing the games for us right now. So I think for me, I have a little bit more sympathy. They're trying to block. You're right. They're catching the ball. It's just that they're not like burning people and busting big plays. It's just sort of like they're just doing what they can do, and it's not as much as we'd like to see. I think
this was my mistake. I think for this group, I projected my like what I think of the like talent of that group and graded that rather than just looking at the talent what have they done.
I think we need to judge them on what have you done.
right
Like this isn't like,
but is that fair?
Yeah, that's what we're doing with all the groups. That's what we're doing with all of them.
I suppose. Like, I mean, it's
like I'm not judging you.
To a certain extent, it's kind of like I look at this unit. It's like, is this unit, when you look at like all of college football, like what a good unit looks like.
We're more of a D then. Like,
Yeah.
But like I've been.
So would you give like a C?
I'd give them a C because
I can understand.
They've caught the balls. They've caught balls. They've tried to block. But they haven't done egregiously bad things.
Okay, I'm with that. I'm riding with that.
The other position groups have.
I'm gonna ride with that. So we'll give them a C.
Lots of C's.
C's get degrees, player. That's always a good line. Who do you think? Whoever thought of that line was like, wow.
He's the guy that didn't spend any of his time thinking about school.
But he
thinking
came
about
with that.
saying,
like, dude, C's get degrees. It's like, wow.
That guy's good.
That is very good. All right, wide receivers. Go ahead and grab the door. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Let's bring in Jason Peter Jr., the Polar Bear, that whole crew. Here comes the D-line. D-line
There's
come
like
in, take a
them,
seat.
yeah.
They all come in. They're taking a seat. Jason Peter dropped him off. Jason he'll be done in like 5 minutes. Okay. All right. I wrote down B+. Like
number one. I mean, to hold
the Michigan,
all these teams,
the Michigan.
Yeah, the Michigan game knocks these guys down from.
But at one point, they had the number one rush defense in the country. At one point, they were leading. They were one of the top units in the country in sacks.
I'm going to say B-.
Okay, yeah, B+ feels a little firm, but like right now, I'm just looking at their top 10 rush defense.
Yeah, I mean, they have won us a few games. They gave us a chance to win 2 others. They just got their butts kicked in the Michigan game, which keeps them from being
like a top
B+, A-.
Okay, so B-, B+ in that area.
Yeah,
I just don't know. I'm very pleased. I'm a Polar Bear. I'm a huge fan of what you've done. They've been good against the run. They've pressured the quarterback. I'm very pleased with this group.
They've done a pretty good job. Yep.
I mean, we don't have a lot to talk about.
No, I think that's all.
It's all good. Guys are good. Keep it up.
B- and just.
We didn't do that. We didn't do that for the tight ends and the wide receivers. Like, what do we need to do? Or what if we had to, like, they need to just
get to the quarterback, close on the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's their one down. They're
okay.
They're doing a good job in the run. We have a lack of ability to close on the quarterback. Robinson, Hutmatcher, Gunnarsson, they're not closing. Seal the deal. Make the sack. Make the play. We're not closing.
Seal the deal.
Yeah.
Seal the deal. Okay, D-line. Take a step up. All right. You're going to love this group. Here comes the linebackers. These are football players. All right. Take a seat.
Toughest guys in the teams, hardest working, usually the smartest. It's always a total package.
Linebackers are kind of like, when you think of true football players, it's usually linebacker. Like
it is.
They're the
running backs and linebackers are the most football of football players.
Totally agree. By the way, did you hear Larry David's whole thing that he talked about? Like the kickers should be banned from football. Like he's like, why did 22 people are playing football, and then some guy that doesn't play football, the way he delivered it was great. It was like a really good point. He was like, no, I do it. It's like, what? No, who needs kickers? Some guy who doesn't play football comes in and he's just siding games.
It is kind of like he's like a soccer player that comes in.
Nobody is playing that sport, and all of a sudden you can kick the ball.
Yeah, it's almost, yeah.
It's like, it's funny, but it's like he kind of has a point.
It's like, all right, they're playing basketball. They're passing around, like, and here comes the volleyball player to spike the ball.
Right.
And now he leaves the court. You're like, what? What's he doing?
I thought we were playing basketball here. You know, is this? I don't know. Larry David.
He's the spiker. He comes in, he spikes it.
In certain situations, we can bring in this spiker and he can spike the ball, and that's then worth points too.
All right. Okay.
He's like, I'd remove the goalpost. I would not have carries. It's kind of a G. I kind of like, okay. Linebackers, solid crew, good, hardworking kids. Reimer, Bullock, Henrich, that whole crew. I gave him a B.
That's exactly, you said solid, good, hardworking equals B. That's exactly what they've been. They've been solid.
They have been spectacular.
That's it. But they've been, a B is a good grade.
But I'm very pleased with them.
Yes.
You guys, they should turn around. They should go tell mom and dad how proud they are. Like, they should feel good about themselves. Right?
Yep. Good job, boys. Get your butts.
Get out of here. Just keep being solid, right?
Yep.
Any other advice as a former all Big 12 linebacker to these guys that and just continue to be solid?
Just continue to be the smartest,
hardest working, roughest, toughest dudes.
on the team, as all linebackers should be.
Okay. That's good. All right. Here comes some boys that they been making their money. I bet you can guess what unit we talking about. The DBs. Malcolm, Quentin, take a seat. Omar, bad Omar Brown sitting right there. Here go. Oh, you know who's sitting right there? That's a Southeast Knight. That's Isaac.
He's top of the class right now.
Right now, you and Isaac Gifford, if I see you guys at like Piedmont Bistro splitting a bottle of wine, I'm not going to be surprised at all.
Tell me about your pursuit angles.
Here, let me pour more in there. So, pursuit angles. What is your secret? I love it. Okay, DBs.
I got a plus on the side of my B.
I wrote down B plus.
I think that works well. The defense, you do B minus for the D line, B for the linebackers,
B plus for those
B
DBs.
Plus for the DBs.
It is that unit is balling, dude.
The biggest improvement on the year is out of this unit. They're playing well. They're tackling well.
Yup.
Sans Michigan. But I mean, like, we're stopping the run and they're having to throw it, and we're keeping it in front of us for the most part. Yeah. I mean, Newsome in the last game, I feel like there was something was blown in that because the safety came down and was staying down, and he was in press coverage.
Yes.
So usually if you're doing that, you're maybe looking to bail a little bit quicker. Like he was really pressing hard. So I don't know about that last one, but other than that, we've been pretty good at keeping the ball in front of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just been impressed.
They've broke up. They've done a good job breaking up passes. They've tackled well. They've taken on blockers well. They've been physical. I'm just very pleased with this unit.
Singleton, Brown, and Gifford have really tackled well.
Yep.
Newsome's been pretty solid.
We're huge Hartzog fans, even though he's not had a great start to this year. But
he actually hasn't. But he's just a solid football. I like him as a football player.
I feel good about him out there.
Yeah. So I trust him in a weird way. So yeah, and then Tommy comes in and does Tommy.
Oh, I forgot Tommy was there. Tommy, I didn't see you back there. What's up, man?
It's like, give me that kickoff, coach.
Give me. Now, I mean, best unit of the team, B plus. I mean, hell, if you wanted to, like, right now, if all these guys sitting here say, man, we deserve an A, I'd listen to it. I'd
say not quite.
Tough. You got a tough teacher over here.
You're 3-3.
That's what I was gonna say. It's hard to say anybody's playing at an A level when you're 3-3.
Yeah, there's no A's given probably if you're 3-3, unless there's some unbelievable player.
Agree.
Like if you got Amir Abdullah and you're 3-3, you're like, he's probably getting an A.
Yeah.
You got Randy Gregory.
You got Ndamukong Suh.
You got Sue, and he's balling, but you can't win. Like you're like, well, Sue's getting an A.
Yeah, and I love the DBs, but I don't think anybody's like to that level. Obviously not.
They're playing well, but there's no superstar.
No,
like there's no superstar talent out there. But these are good players playing well. They're getting their B plus, and they should be feeling good about that.
Okay, and the last two. I wrote down, because I wanted to do special teams and coaching. So let's do special teams first. And I know that's not totally fair because it's a whole thing, but like special teams, how would you grade special teams so far?
Everything so far is,
I wrote C minus. Or a D.
You say
D plus, C minus. I don't think it's been very good.
I think we've missed a couple kicks.
Yeah. Tristan Alvano is 3 for 7 on field goals.
But our punting hasn't been bad.
I mean, they haven't necessarily. It's not been horrible. It's not been great.
Coverage unit kickoff coverage has been fine.
Okay. Maybe D. It's definitely not a D. I'd give it a C minus, a C.
That seems a little harsh. I don't think we've lost any ground really from bad special teams. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we haven't given up a big play. We had the block punt in the last game, which helps boost us. I mean, I put
the big kickoff return against Colorado or Minnesota.
C plus B minus is probably fair. We've missed a couple kicks.
Had the fake field goal.
We had the fake field goal. That
Just
bumps
Alvano's
us up.
missed some. Been a couple of bad punts. They kicked a few out of bounds on kickoffs against Louisiana Tech.
I would go B-.
They let Smoke get smoky with him on a kickoff return, and he house called that bitch, and they called it back.
You know, it's been okay though. So like, it's a C+, B- range. It's not a D. It's not a A. It's like it's somewhere in there of like it's been fine.
Yeah,
it's been a little more of a non-factor, which is like okay at this point.
But here's the thing, I guess for Nebraska to get to a bowl game, they need to that needs to perform at like when if we are reconvening at the end of the year and we're handing out grades, if we're still being like, with this offense right now.
Yeah, you're right. With this offense, they need to be better. So maybe they're a C+ because we need them to be a B or an A for us to have a better.
We got to encourage them a little bit here.
We should
to kind of tighten it up.
Yeah.
Okay, coaching. Before we give our coaching grades, got to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors. I am excited that they are. I'm like 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks away from them installing a new bay window, a new front door into my home. And I'm telling you, this whole process has been like fun and enjoyable. And Pella's made it easy. Going to the showroom, figuring out exactly what we're installing into our home made the whole process a lot cleaner and just better to understand what's happening. And then Debbie and my wife Kim, they are like best friends. They've like, looking at paint colors and this and that. What are they gonna do? They have just provided solutions at every single moment throughout this entire process. And if you are looking for some new windows or some new doors, you need to go check out Pella Omaha. They are fantastic with the showrooms. They are fantastic with the fact that if you don't really know where to begin, you can have a free in-home consultation. That's right. It's free for a Pella expert to come out to your house to put a game plan together that fits your budget, your wants, and your needs. And you are going to be pleased with how everything turns out. So check them out online, PellaOmaha.com. That's PellaOmaha.com. And Shoot 360 Lincoln. We're opening up, baby. Go to shoot360.com/Lincoln. Fill out the official recruiting visit form. It is a membership-based basketball training facility. It's basketball Disneyland. That's exactly how Sean Livingston described it. I absolutely love it. Got shooting bays, think like batting cages with basketball hoops where you're getting shots up. You have these skill courts, these big passing walls where you are going through ball handling drills and passing. Passing is a very underserved skill because it's boring and you need a partner. Well, they make this fun for the younger kids that love video games. It's like a video game. Everything in there is. So make sure you check out Shoot 360. Again, to become a member, you got to go through official recruiting visit and you got to go online to shoot360.com/Lincoln to fill out the official recruiting visit form. So go to the website, shoot360.com/Lincoln and fill it out right now. Okay, Bo, wrapping up coaching. We're bringing in Matt Rule. We're bringing in Tony White. We're bringing in Marcus Sett. We're bringing in the whole crew. How we feeling? Where are you leaning on coaching?
Offense, defense, special teams?
We're bringing in every coach on the staff.
Oh, we're going by position by position.
No, we're going the whole, just like we're lumping it all into one. Just how has this team been? Because like Tony White, I'd give like a A.
It's almost an A for Tony White.
Yeah.
It's such a borderline.
Maybe let's do that. Tony White, A. I'd give him an A. I'd give the guy an A.
It's whatever the line of like, can I give him an A-?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him an A- because an A means Michigan doesn't happen with an A.
Good call. Let's go A-.
A- or B+, somewhere in that range. He maybe just because we're impressed with him, we're going to give him the A-. And he's new.
Yes.
But I think he's A-. Special teams would call, they're a C, so he's a C.
Satterfield, I'd give. Now, in his defense, let me make the case. If you're Satterfield, I think you would sit there and go, guys, how many offensive coordinators would look great if, regardless of how you feel about them, they lost their starting quarterback, they lost their first and second string running backs, they lost 2 of their top 4 wide receivers, and it was already a thin group to begin with. They were thinking they were going to have a tight end in Gilbert. He obviously, we know what happened with him. Like, how many offensive coordinators would look really great in these circumstances? Probably not a lot, but that also doesn't completely absolve him from any culpability for how this offense has performed.
Yeah, he's the offensive coordinator. The offense has been really bad. The offense has been like, if you were to call it like grade the entire offense, it's closer to a D or an F. It's been bad, right?
It is.
So I don't know that giving him a C is being generous. Giving him a D is not as generous, but like, what's the closest thing to reality? C minus, because he's only got to deal with what he can deal with, the ingredients in the cupboard. So I think being fair, being generous to him, you give him a C minus. Being generous.
Yeah. I think you have to take into consideration it'd be disingenuous to sit here and be like, don't care about the injuries, got to go get it done. I mean, come on.
It matters.
It matters.
The injuries and what you got for talent anyway. Like, we lost Irvin Johnson, Garcia Castaneda,
Xavier Betts,
like,
Sims. I know he struggled, but like, he won the job, and they thought it. Like, regardless of what you think of, he was their starting quarterback.
Yeah,
whether
Sims
he got
fell apart.
Yeah, so
but some of that's on him too. So like,
for sure,
it's a C minus. The minus is like where it's like, hey, this isn't only on the players. This is on you too. But D, we're trying to be generous. So
I know it's hard. Like, it's kind of like what we talked about with the wide receivers, where you like take into consideration like what you're working with. You slide the grade. You're grading on like a curve.
Yeah.
If I'm grading just for like what it is, it's been like closer. It's like a D minus.
Yeah.
But when you factor in the injuries, I'd say I guess I'll ride with a C minus. I feel really uncomfortable with that grade.
Yeah, it's not.
It's D plus, C minus in that area. But what about Rule?
Rule, I think, I've been like, I'll grade him on this. I think his entire year has been good in a lot of ways. He went all in on Jeff Sims over Casey Thompson, which we're gonna have to factor into that.
Yeah,
as part of coaching.
And you know who else would Nebraska could use right now? AJ Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, those two guys were in your program in the spring.
That's hard because that's.
No, it's hard. I mean, I get it. It's a little unfair.
Irvin and Ramir got hurt in the same game. It's like, gosh, it's bad luck.
But I just thought that dude, like, he's playing pretty. I know he had a good game. I mean, let me look up his.
Where'd he end up?
Miami.
Oh, he did.
26 carries, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season. So, I mean, he's been,
okay.
He's not been light.
He's not better than Anthony Grant, though.
Yeah, probably not. I agree with that. I'd agree with that. But no, you got to factor in, like, I think he misread the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
What's hard for him? He's so good talking that sometimes he makes you, even if there are some things that don't go well on the field, he's so good at explaining and casting a vision that it can make you feel better about it. I think he's been a C.
He's a C if he doesn't win this last game. This last game he was like a minus B plus to me all year, except for the Sims thing. And then a couple of the losses bump him down. But this win pumps him from a C to a B minus to me.
The other thing you got to get, we sit here and be like, what was he thinking with Casey Thompson? He hired Tony White.
He did. It's a good hire.
It's not like Tony White everybody was beating down the door to hire him, like.
Yeah, Rule made a good hire there. It seems so far. But like I said, we got a long ways to go. He still has a big, not big or a long runway, but he still has more, to show us that we need to, like, it's going to take time. And so, like, I don't think we need to jump the gun on anything crazy. Like, if it looks like it's the right stuff, that's a good sign. To me, it still looks like he's doing things the right way.
I agree.
And
you're right. He's
saying the right things.
He's like a B.
Yeah.
It still feels like, I don't feel like there's anything he's doing other than the Sims quarterback that like, I don't feel like there's anything he's doing. I'm like,
I mean, he nailed the offseason. To me, he nailed it,
right.
except for what we found out is that like the Sims thing turned out to be the wrong decision.
And when you get that one wrong, you can get a lot of things right, but if you get that one wrong,
that's it. He's like 99 things wrong, right, and the one wrong thing was like he chose Sims over
Casey Thompson,
and it's costing him a full grade level.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, but okay, so now overall, if you had to like zoom out and the whole staff, like how coaching, would you give it I think when you melted all, so like when you think of everything, it's from Ed Foley special teams to the position coaches to the coordinators to the head coach, like how is this team being coached to you? Would you give it a B? Would you give it a C?
Rule and Tony White are bringing the collective up.
Yep.
I mean, you just can't, the record and the offense together, you just kind of go like, it's hard to
and the sloppiness.
And the sloppiness makes it like, I feel like you could give them a C with the caveat like, hey, we know that like you guys have the potential to really bring that grade out.
Yeah, because
like that's almost like the message is like, hey, we know you can do it. We're not going to give you the free pass yet. Like it's for your own benefit. We give you the C.
That's so I'm giving it a C.
Go earn that A. It's still you can get the A.
Right.
You can get
that. And there are elements like I think Tony White is doing great, and I feel really good about Rule. But just overall, like the sloppiness, unfortunately, makes you go, does this look like, there are moments where you go, does this look like a really, really well-coached football team? And unfortunately, now, is it Raiola's fault that somebody jumps fault? Like, I mean, they're in charge of it, but like.
That's what's hard to know. To me, it's like, it's hard to know how much as an offensive line coach is his influence make a difference with that type of thing, right? Maybe it's more, I just don't know. I don't know that actually of all the things in football, I don't know about the offensive line coach's direct influence on performance.
Yeah.
I think those guys, it's like, I never got to see a meeting with those guys. I've always wanted
to
see
I know. I mean, I got to think it's got to impact it, but I think
it impacts it, but like,
like to what degree and
what degree is it like the skill of the guy, offense they're running,
the scheme,
and sort of like all those pieces versus just like this guy coaches them so hard and so disciplined. It doesn't matter. Like it defies whatever's going around them. Right. That's what you hope, but it's probably not necessarily the case.
Yeah. I think C. I think C is fair.
C's fair, and
C's fair. They're 3-3. They pissed a game away at Minnesota.
Yeah. When you're not winning games, you should win. Coaching, you can't say coaching's not a part of
it. They blew a game in Minnesota, and then they got blown out at home.
Yeah.
And that drives it down too. But I'd give it a C, but I would also be like, it's a C that is trending. That's close to a B. You know what I mean? Like does that make sense? Where you're like, you have a C, but not all C. It could be a C that's like almost a D.
Yeah. We'll call it C plus, and we know they can get it up close to an A if they just start doing what they need to do.
Yes. Okay, so there you go. Midseason progress reports, report cards, parent-teacher conferences, all that wrapped into one. I apologize to everybody we were jerks to, as they called it.
Hold on. The principal just came in. We're in trouble.
We're being all right, we gotta go because we apparently are going to call it in the principal's office.
Apparently you're not supposed to talk to your students like that.
Okay. All right, Mr. Belding. Okay. All right.